Welcome, strategists and conquerors, to Rule a World 3D, a podcast, your getaway to a thrilling realm of tabletop strategy gaming. I'm your host, Daniel Isham, and this week we're diving deep into the rules and mechanics of this epic 4X tabletop game that serves as the foundation of our podcast. But before I unfurl the banner of war and embark on our conquest, we must extend a heartfelt thanks to you, the esteemed patrons. Peter Gordon, your unwavering support fuels our endeavors and ensures that the flames of our gaming passions burn ever brighter. And to our listeners, who we extend a warm invitation to join us in sharing the destiny of this world. Become a patron and unlock exclusive benefits, or simply spread the word about our podcast to fellow strategists and tacticians. Together, we can forge a mighty community of gamers united in our love of immersive strategy games. So, gather your armies, plot your strategies, and prepare to embark on a journey of conquest and exploration. Welcome to Rule a World 3D, the podcast, where empires rise and fall and the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Let the conquest begin! Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Isham, your storyteller. I have an amazing thing for our season finale episode. The guys from Grimlore have come and joined us. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hello. I am Ray the Phoenix King from Grimlore. I am one of the hosts, and with me is obviously Gerald. Say hello.
Hello. I am your dwarven host, Grimlore bartender and cook. So I co-host with Ray to tell the world about Warhammer Fantasy.
And these guys
and
are
other
sorry.
And other grimdark settings, of course.
I was just about to say, these guys are probably some of the best world-building analyzers I've ever come across. They are absolutely amazing.
You are too kind, good sir.
It's the autism on my end.
I don't know what it is on my end. I'm just here.
Well, we both have that, my friend. We both have that. Yep. All right. Do we want to get started, or do we want to talk some more about who we are?
Tell you what, it's your podcast, so we leave it to you.
All right, I'll start. In the inaugurating episode of the podcast season, we embarked on the exploration of the world of Bob. Initially, settlement of the Isham Corporation, we delved into the origins of the settlement, gaining insight into the Absalom faith and the William Kingdom with its history steeped in the Solar Civil War. Amidst the religious transition and aspiration of reclaiming the world, we witnessed the founding of the Isham Empire and the William Kingdom, setting the stage for a rich tapestry of interwoven narratives. Throughout the journey, we uncovered the enigmatic World Sea technology. And let me just stop right here on this. The World Sea technology is one of my favorite things I invented. It basically is designed to create a population out of basically nothing without using cloning, and basically gives you a 20-year lifespan in 30 days. It's
very
cool.
Very nice. I've heard about this in one of your earlier episodes, and I was very intrigued.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff. It's one of my favorite creations. A groundbreaking innovation shrouded in the controversy, fueling tension and prejudice against both world seed and other species. Join us as we unravel the complexity and captivating world and reflect on the revelations of the intriguing episode. So what do you think about the beginning?
I think you set up everything to be very you're dropping us in the middle of a section, so I think it's a very, very excellent way to drop, to find yourself into a setting, which is not to, it's very fun to be thrown into something from the very beginning, not from the very beginning, but to be thrown in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. and to an extent be thrown all these topics at you, for example, the Solar Civil War, the Isham Corporation, the World Sea technology, all these if you were to let's say you were to read this on say a wiki document, every single one of those would be a blue tab, blue thing that you'd want to press on. It's almost like unraveling the sense of like the first time you open like say Warhammer, a Warhammer wiki or a Elder Scrolls wiki, where like there's just so many links that you could go from that you can only really you just have to like let yourself flow through the setting in what
Yep.
like is the best way to go is the best way to describe it.
Well, I'd go with one that Mark did for Chaos. It's like an ocean.
Shout out to Mark.
Yep. Oh, he's awesome. He
He's a
is.
very
And I
good
heard-
man.
Oh yeah, and I heard the episode that he was on here too. So very good discussion that y'all have going on. To kind of piggyback off of Ray, I think I to definitely agree with what all he's saying. It's you're popping someone in the middle of what's going on. That way, it gives them the sense of like they're in a world that's actually being lived in. That stuff's already going on. So it's not just like you're throwing them on a blank slate, and then it's like a progression of, okay, this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. You're just throwing them in to something that's like there's so many moving parts, and then it's just like you're giving them the choice to kind of see what is this moving part, and then they learn about it. It's like, oh, okay, what's this going on over here? So it's like you're giving them the breadcrumbs and then letting them choose what path to follow.
Well, not only
I like
that,
it.
but like sorry.
I just said I like it.
Yes, it also makes me think of the iceberg world building, which is I can't probably describe it because it's been like years since I've like learned about it. But it's effectively like you create like a handful of really in-depth topics. So for example, I imagine the Solar War, World Seed, all the things I mentioned before, just these really in-depth, very well-structured sorry, burped a little bit there. Really integral, very well thought out, thorough world building sections. But then you drop in like say something very small that like almost makes you think there's something more, but you never investigate it. Like not to say that you do, because like obviously it's your world building if you do or not. But like this is just something that I learned through my own world building investigation, which was just don't even like drop a word, drop like and then the dark times happen and don't even explore it, and then it just causes the mind to wander so much more because you have all these insanely in-depth topics that causes the person to wonder, if all these things have such in-depth things, how come the dark age has so little on it? I'm saying dark age obviously for an example. So like
Oh, I love that. You've made me think a lot already about the future of this particular world that I'm building.
I mean,
It's kind of like
it's not my idea, you feel free to steal it.
it's kind of like the method that if you or any of you listeners are fans of From Software, they like to sprinkle you with information, but then kind of leave your mind to wander from there. So it's just like, how did you get from point A to point B? And then you're just letting the imagination go from there.
Yes. Sorry, one more bonus topic actually. I'm not sure if you or anyone is familiar with the series One Piece. This will be like maybe a minor spoiler for it. But the first
That's a world within itself.
the first little bit of One Piece, there's a character who says that he's from like some far off corner of the world or whatever. And you're just like, oh, okay. But then, like, when you look at the geography, he is literally from the other side of the world. And because of how difficult it is for travel to happen in the One Piece setting, it made so many people wonder, how did he get from there to there? And obviously, like, over time it was revealed. But, like, just that sentence alone of just, like, he's from the literal other side of the world where travel is almost impossible. It makes you wonder, how did he get there? And then it creates this almost like story in and of itself.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Wow. Well, do one of you want to read the next section, or do we want to talk more about this one?
I'm down.
I've gotten
I'm down for either.
Yes, I've gotten everything I need from the first little bit. I'm ready to go on to the next one, but it's up to two of you.
I'm ready to go if you guys are.
I'm ready to keep on going.
Okay.
I'll take the reins on this next one if that's fine with y'all.
Sounds good.
We witness the expansion of the Isham Empire as it establishes its new capital in Craig City, a bustling harbor that marks the beginning of a new era of prosperity. With the acquisition of the Poseidon and Island City and the construction of the Stargate, the Empire's influence extends further, culminating in the capture of Adam's castle. As tensions escalate, the first battle of the Eternal War erupt in Adam's castle, Craig City and Poseidon City, setting the stage for an epic confrontation. Amidst the chaos, Princess Emma of the Isham Empire emerges as a pivotal figure, rallying the defenders of Absalom to establish a base in Craig City. Her newfound status as the chosen of the gods spark intrigue and speculation, unveiling the complexities of divine intervention in mortal affairs. Meanwhile, revelations about the nature of gods and their involvement in mortal conflicts shed light on the precarious balance of power in the world of Bob. Join us as we delve deeper in the unfolding saga and navigate the intricacies of divine influence.
Oh, I like this. I like this this opening discussion, because the concept of gods and mortal affairs is such an interesting topic.
Oh, it is. I couldn't do a world building story without a good set of them in the story.
Yes,
It's like you're building a really good mythology and put it in a sci-fi backdrop, which you would think, 40K stuff aside, you would think don't really fit that well together, but there is a way to do it. And I am a sucker for blending like that sci-fi and that fantasy element. And when it works really well, ooh, it is so cool and so unique.
I actually got the inspiration on how to do it from Starfinder.
Ooh, I've actually never played it, but I know of the setting. I know it's really well done.
Oh, it is.
I'm not familiar with Starfinder. What can you what can you summarize about it to help me understand?
It's Pathfinder in space.
Pathfinder is like D&D, but it's
in space.
It's a more balanced. It's not more balanced. It's a more streamlined version of D&D, but also it's it takes the best parts of 3.5 D&D and then streamlines them with 5th edition rules to make it a really well put together game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm familiar with Pathfinder because I know a lot of a lot of the Star Wars RPGs use the Pathfinder system to make the rules for the game. So, okay, I have a basis. I have a basis for that. I know, and now I know what you're talking about.
Well, and I also like using members of my family to be characters in that. I actually based the character of Princess Emma after my daughter.
Oh, that's sweet.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I always like it when you.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say, I always like it when with nice little touches like that, and that's a way to honor those people that are close to you in your life. I mean, I've done the same thing for my world building exercise. If you're a patron of Grimlore, that is something that we have to share, and I'm sure Ray has done the same thing for his world building projects.
Yes, sure. I definitely do not base my characters off of my favorite characters in TV. Sure. I base them off of people I know and care about, definitely.
Well, I mean, basing them off your favorite characters in TV is an okay thing too, Ray.
I just like playing with my toys and making my toys hate each other.
I do too, except I 3D print mine and make them custom for me.
Oh, that's so cool! I also really want to get 3D printing.
Well, if you have it on, see my video. Here's the picture of the goddess in my world.
Ooh, that is cool.
That is really well done.
Yeah, my nephew printed it out because all I have is I have a DMR printer, not a resin. Because I have a 4-year-old. So
hey, at least you have a printer though. I know Ray and I have been talking about each of us getting one at some point, but logistics and finances are tough sometimes.
Well, the only reason I was able to get that was because of the pandemic money.
Yeah. Smart investment. I used it on Warhammer.
As did I.
We have problems. Okay, hang on. Back to the discussion though. So I'm judging by what you've written here though, and judging by this whole concept in general. So I'm assuming the gods don't have very much influence on moral affairs. This raises a bunch of questions, though.
Oh,
Like,
they do. They do. They just
yeah,
come in a little bit later on in the story.
okay. So because this raises like obviously like moral implications too, because like it literally becomes you have God on your side. How can I fight you? Not even like power scaling wise, but like if you have the objective God or a objective God on your side, it gives your side a degree of like validity and righteousness, and it
Well,
makes those who combat it really interesting too.
well, in the next section, I'm just going to give a little hint of what's going to happen. One of the gods takes another god prisoner.
Oh no. I hate when that happens.
Yep.
Uh,
Do we have anything else to discuss on this one? Or
I
are we
love the
gonna...
city names.
I actually took that from. I actually gave the name of one of the cities. The capital city is based on the guy I was playing against, just to annoy him.
Very smart, man. Very good. Very good.
Make sure the city burns.
Let it burn.
Yep.
Very cool. I got nothing else really to say on this one. I'm just interested in it as well.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
It's a very fun activity.
Oh yeah.
I love world building.
All right.
Okay.
So it's my turn for the next one.
Yes, it is.
Go for it, boss.
Hang on. So that's Shem. Okay.
Isham.
Isham.
Mhm.
All right. Tensions between the Isham Empire and the William Kingdom reach a boiling point as diplomatic efforts turn sour. The Isham Empire, seeking to establish relations with the William Kingdom, sends a psychic diplomat and missionaries to initiate dialogue. However, their efforts are met with hostility from King Craig, who launches a campaign of persecution against the Absalom faith. Matters escalate when an attack on the hidden church. Matters escalate when an attack on the hidden church branch bank triggers a divine intervention by the goddess Beautiful herself, warning King Craig of dire consequences should he persist in his actions. The goddess intervenes once again during a live broadcast, publicly displaying the god of the William Kingdom in chains and delivering a crippling blow to the king. This pivotal moment marks the beginning of a holy war between the Absalom faith and the emerging galactic faith of the imprisoned god, setting the stage for a clash of ideologies and divine powers. Join us as we unravel the complexities of faith and politics in the midst of an escalating conflict.
Ooh,
Dang.
nice.
Pretty cool, huh?
Fucking imagine. Oh, sorry. Imagine just like you turn on the TV and then it's like, yeah, I got you, God. He's right here. Just
That's basically what happened. The king was announcing some more things that he was going to do against people who joined the church, and she came in the middle of a royal broadcast and said, "Knock it off," and then with the god in chains. And then when he didn't stop. She made it so he couldn't use his legs. There's nothing wrong with his legs. It's just divine power.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Like nothing, he just stopped working. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
That's honestly like more horrifying too. In an extent, it's like there's one thing where if your legs are broken, you can like see it, you can like visualize it, but like if your legs just stop working one day, that's gonna be.
Yep. And it's right in the face of a deity.
Yep, you know you done goofed.
Yep.
And there's not much coming back from that. I do like how I'm not trying to mean this in the negative light because it's not, but like the use of like a lot more simplistic terms and naming conventions, like the goddess Beautiful, that gives you a sense of what she's about. That gives you a sense of who she's are without giving her like a 50-letter name that's hard to pronounce for anybody. So I like the simplistic route that you've taken to make it more accessible for people to kind of understand and enjoy it. I do have one question for you though.
What do you have?
9 times out of 10, it's in settings. It's usually the kingdom is the good guys and the empire is usually the bad guys. Did you do this on purpose to have the kingdom being the antagonizers? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not meaning this in a bad way or another.
Okay, when this was actually based off a game that was going on at the time because we were doing test games, and I like playing as the Empire. It's been something I've made years and years ago. And my friend was the one who was playing as the kingdom, and it just evolved this way.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool too. So,
yep. And it's not like a normal kingdom. You see, since it came from a corporation, it's very corporate designed. There's the emperor who's elected by the what are they called? The heads of the different departments, the department heads.
Oh my!
Department heads choose somebody that's outside of them that they see would be a good emperor to get elected to become emperor, and the emperor chooses the department heads.
Okay. I want to. That is pretty cool. That sounds very similar to like a Holy Roman Empire type of thing, where their emperor is actually elected by the other heads of state. So it's like a nice little twist on it's an empire. But it's more
corporate feel. Like it's corporate clearly. So you could have like the guy in charge of like the weapons, and he could be like, "Oh, I'm voting for this guy because my company manufactures weapons, and I can tell this guy would be a good candidate because he has a very war-driven viewpoint." So then that means that my corporation, even though I'm not the emperor, I'm gonna get a bunch of money because the emperor is gonna come to me, not the head of state, but the head of weapons and manufacturing to get his tanks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that fits perfectly in like the sci-fi setting that you have going on here, because I think I heard you describe it before as like kind of like almost like a Star Trek vibe to it.
Yeah.
So it fits with the overall aesthetic, and I really like that.
And each settlement is controlled by a director that's appointed by the department heads.
That's pretty sick. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And then if you're too rich, since it's a trade religion, if you're rich enough that you don't have to work, you're automatically conscripted into being one of the members of the clergy.
Oh, okay.
And the local head, the planetary head of clergy is the high priest, and he's whoever is considered to be the best lawyer in the religion on that world.
That makes sense, though.
So you got a lot of laborers that have to wear many different hats and actually be useful in not just like one specified field, but you got to be more well-rounded.
Yep.
It's a very interesting meritocracy as well too, because but it's not so much a meritocracy. It's more like a Pluto meritocracy because it's based off of your wealth and your income, but then it's also based off of your skills as well. Mm-hmm. Like you can have a bunch of wealth, but if you don't have the skills that would support your status, you're just gonna fall by the wayside. Mm-hmm. Similar being that if you have the skills, but you don't have the wealth to make it, well, you can make the money, but it creates this very interesting power structure and power play between I don't want to say the working class, but like between everyone involved in the governmental affairs.
Yep.
I could also see some nepotism being involved in here, but it becomes like almost like justified nepotism. Like I think it's the Holy Roman Empire that has something similar where you have when you're born, you have one level lower status than your parent.
That was China, I thought.
Oh, okay, it was probably China, yeah.
Yep.
I'm getting them confused, but yeah, I know that it was one where it's like, yeah, if your father's a noble, you're noble like one level below, and in order to like reach his status, you have to like, earn your right to reach that status of nobility, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, It was probably China, but yes, it's a very interesting system. I really enjoy it. It's a very unique system too, because very often you'll have galactic empires in this case, or galactic kingdoms, regardless, that are like, oh, it's just feudalism in space, so the nobles inherit it. But this one's very much more like
It's
there's a lot more.
capitalism.
Yeah, it's capitalism.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to the one place that has not felt the taint of capitalism. Outer space. That's a red alert reference for you guys out there.
Oh,
That's
that
pretty
was a
cool.
great series. Love that series. All right, are we ready to go forward?
Let's go for it.
Okay. Okay. Exploration efforts of the Isham Empire yield significant discoveries across the vast expanse of the world of Bob. Thriving metropolis of the Ishamtopia is uncovered, showcasing the technological advancement and bustling activities of the Empire's urban center. Additionally, the ancient city of Tulkan is unearthed, revealing a long-lost secret of treasures buried beneath its storied streets. Amidst these discoveries, a pivotal breakthrough is made, and explorers uncover a secret door leading to the mysterious underworld, setting the stage for further exploration and intrigue. Meanwhile, the new settlements begin to emerge as diverse groups within the population, including evolved elves, synth nomads, tiefling clans, advocate for their interests in seeking representation in the burgeoning community. Despite the facing discrimination and prejudice, these groups united in their quest for equality and recognition, pushing for settlements where they can thrive. Once such settlement, the megacity of Melkor is established as a haven for tiefling clans, granting the emperors in a gesture of solidarity and support as tensions simmer and alliances are forged. The world of Bob stands at the brink of transformation with new opportunities and challenges. What do you think?
I'm loving the Tolkien references here.
You mean Melkor? That's fucking. I mean, that's really cool. I like Melkor. Melkor's always been one of my favorites.
Yep,
well,
the most powerful of the. I can never pronounce how they say
it's
it.
not the Maiar. Melkor's not a Maiar.
No, he's
Valar.
Valar.
It's either
Yeah.
Valar, yeah.
Yep, he's the only fallen Valar. And then he corrupted Sauron, who worked for the mining god.
Which I find really fun. I enjoy that. I also like that that Sauron is the henchman of the big bad, but typically most times the evil henchman betrays the Dark Lord. But Sauron's loyal to the very end, which I find so entertaining.
Yep. Just waiting for his boss to come back.
He'll eventually come back, I promise.
Yeah,
One day, soon.
I'm a big fan of Tolkien. Yep. But the thing about my world is the tieflings and elves and stuff, there are over 1 million races that evolved from humans. Humans are a fossil race in this world.
That's cool.
Nice.
I really enjoy that. I have something similar for one of my settings, but it's reverse, where it's elves are the fossil race. But I mean, I find that very interesting. So they're all very distantly related. Well,
it looks like we have to continue in just a second because my time just ran out on.
Okay.
No. Darn you, Zoom call meeting.
Yep. All right. How do I do that?
You should be able to end it and then start again.
Okay, end it.
Over the humans being a fossil. Discussion over humans being a fossil race.
Yep,
Yes.
they are a fossil race, meaning that there are over 1 million species in 1 million different worlds. And what's really cool is synth are what AI evolves into, and tieflings are the result of modern alien experiments. You know, the people that say they're abducted by aliens.
Okay.
They are actually aliens being hired to splice DNA and information into a race that has the genetic ability to do that. And tieflings emerge 1,000 years after alien abductions stop.
Interesting. Makes me think of the mutants in Marvel Comics, where they created the 3 branches of humanity: the baseline humans, the mutants, and the aberrants.
I haven't seen that one.
It's in the original Marvel comics.
Mhm.
That basically the reason why mutants are a thing in Marvel comics, they say is evolution, but it's later revealed that not the precursors, that's a different series. The Celestials, I believe. Basically in Marvel comics, Earth is an egg to is like a giant egg. And in order to make sure that the egg is protected, the Sentinel or the Celestials take dominant species on the planet and they modify it. So they made humans into what they would become humans. They made the mutants. Like they basically programmed humans to eventually become mutants to secure the egg's survival in the future.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's also really terrifying when you consider that in Marvel Comics, the Earth is literally an egg that's going to hatch eventually.
Well, one of the biggest difference between that and this is that tieflings also have all of the some knowledge of that race in their heads that they get when they finish puberty.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Which is why the tiefling clans are rich, but nobody wants them to be on their planets because they look like devils and make people uncomfortable.
I was beginning to think that sounds very similar to the tiefling race from D&D.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I modeled the looks from.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yep. There's also a race that evolved from rats that we're going to come across from. I actually got the idea from your episode on Skaven.
Excellent.
They're called
Nice.
Claw Spawn.
Ooh, cool.
They're basically Skaven in space.
Look at that. He did it before GW.
Yep. Well, that's why I changed enough of it that it wasn't. Yeah.
Always got to be legally distinct with these things.
Yep. And then another friend of mine invented the first alien race we have in the game called the Newt. They are amphibian people.
Ooh, I love amphibian people. Very scary, very, very Cthulhu-esque.
She turned me into a newt. What? I got better.
Oh, Eldritch gods are in this world.
Glorious.
Very sick.
That's why most species aren't settled species. Most species are nomads because the Eldritch gods don't care about intelligent species and just basically just destroy civilizations across the galaxy. Yep.
Yeah, proof.
I very much approve.
All right.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool world. All right, who's next in it?
I'll read this next one.
Okay.
Kind of keep her. Let's see here. Okay. The stakes escalate as the Isham Empire receives support from the Celtic Irish goddess Morgan in their struggle against the encroaching threat of the Eldritch gods. With divine intervention on their side, the Empire gains a formidable ally in their battle for survival. Meanwhile, revelations abound as ancient artifacts known as the Astra Mystica are discovered, offering glimpses in the true nature of reality, but exacting a heavy toll on mortal minds. As the line between sanity and madness blurs, individuals grapple with the consequences of seeking forbidden knowledge. In the midst of these trials, a new breed of warriors emerge as the deceased are recruited to serve as Grim Reapers, tasked with guiding souls to the afterlife and confronting the looming specter of demonic invasion. From the depths of the wilderness, monstrous creatures prowl, posing a dire threat to unsuspecting travelers and settlements alike. Amidst the chaos, a new faction known as the United Settlements rises, seeking to recreate the legendary United States and asserting its dominance over the fractured landscape. With tensions escalating and enemies closing in from all sides, the fate of the world of Bob hangs in the balance, poised on the brink of cataclysmic change.
So that's really cool.
So what's really cool is that in this world, the gods actually put wanted ads for Grim Reapers.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you die,
does every god have their own Grim Reaper?
They have their own set of Grim Reapers. The bigger the population, the more Grim Reapers they need to hire. If you're dying and you've paid what you have to pay to get into their equivalent of heaven, which then you're eligible to be hired as a Grim Reaper, and you actually have to,
That's pretty cool.
at least for the Absalom faith. Remember, he's a trade god.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So what do you think about this particular?
I think
So
it's really enjoyable. I'm
Absolutely.
enjoying a lot of it. I like the Astro Mystica. That's a cool name. That's a very enjoyable name.
It's basically the Necronomicon, but instead of some crazy guy getting it, it was created by the goddess, beautiful in order to tell people exactly what's going on, but the mortal mind can't handle it.
Can't handle the truth.
Nope.
You can't handle the truth.
It
But-
totally destroys their brains.
Mm.
Just like the
I-
Necronomicon.
I enjoy this.
That's yep. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And have you guys ever heard of Hellgate London?
I haven't. You've mentioned it to me before, but I haven't really investigated much more than that.
Okay, well, basically, demons are rebels against gods, and they occasionally open up portals to try to destroy all sentient life. And I decided to
Okay.
add that into my world.
Why not?
You can get it as a card. So you have eldritch gods fighting you, demons, and then the local wildlife.
So basically, Space Australia. Everything's trying to kill you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Very nice.
So is it my turn or one of your turns?
I think it's Ray's turn.
Yes. Okay, so I'm doing second to the last one. All right.
Yep.
All right. So the Isham Empire uncovers new threats lurking beneath the surface of the world above. Through their explorations, they come to learn of the Krull Spawn, a race of evolved rat people who worship an enigmatic rat king and harbor ambitions of consuming all other forms of life. As the Claw Spawn influence spreads, so too does the danger they pose to the delicate balance of power on the planet. In addition to the menace of the Claw Spawn, the Empire becomes aware of the existence of the Newt people, a mysterious amphibious race who revere a sea god and possess advanced transforming technology.
Terraforming.
With their ability, terraforming technology. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
With their ability to reshape the landscape and their inscrutable motives, the Newt people present a formidable enigma that may hold the key to the fate of the world itself. As the Isham Empire grapples with these newfound revelations, they must confront the looming specter of extinction and navigate the treacherous waters of intergalactic diplomacy. With alliances shifting and tensions mounting, the stage is set for a clash of civilizations that will shape the destiny of Bob for generations to come. Oh no. We
Yeah.
got rats. We got the deep ones.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Shout out to you, EXO. You're going to be happy with this.
And what's cool about them is they want to turn the whole world into an ocean world.
Ooh, this makes me think of I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's a kind of underrated series, but the series Chaotic.
I've never heard of it.
Okay, it's basically a card game television series, but long story short, the second season is way better than the first, and it actually has a race of amphibious Cthulhu-like alien creatures that are apparently like frozen they're frozen in the North and South Pole, and basically there's this character who's actually one of them, and his plan is to flood the world to basically have the entire world become an ocean and let loose all of his species that are actually frozen in the North and South Pole. And some of the characters actually find a cave that leads to the past, present, and future. Like it travels across time, and they go to the future, and they find that way far in the future, the world is just an ocean, which makes them realize and makes them consider that it doesn't matter if they beat them now, the poles are eventually going to melt at some point. And it's just like horrifying realization for the cast, but the series ended on a high note. So I mean.
That is awesome. I need to look into that.
Yeah, it's a card game. The series was basically meant to sell a card game. So the first season was basically just Monster of the Week. Here's a new monster that you can buy in the card game. But the second season does a really well overarching story, that introduces them. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. It makes me think of that.
It sounds pretty neat. One of the guys who's developing it with me is the one who made this group. So beyond what's in there, I don't know much about what he's created on there.
Okay.
So
No, I enjoyed this. This is really cool. I like all these conflicting ideologies and empires and all
yeah,
this thing going on.
and all the crazy diplomacy and all.
Yes. Let's go negotiate with the rat people today, and tomorrow we're going to negotiate with people that want to flood with the world.
I think they're going to be. I think if I sent a diplomat to the rat people, they'd eat them.
As they should.
Yeah, as I said, they're just like the Skaven.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right. Are we ready for the conclusion, or
yes?
Okay.
Let's do it. We got this.
Home strap. Let's do this.
As we approach the conclusion of this season, our podcast is essential to reflect on the significant events and transformative moments that have defined the journey of the William Kingdom. Among these, one of the most pivotal turns of fate was a coup orchestrated by those who believed in the benefits of aligning with the Isham Empire. In the aftermath of this coup, the fate of the William Kingdom hung in the balance, poised at the threshold of a momentous decision. Through exhaustive negotiation and careful deliberation, a treaty was forged, ultimately leading to the annexation of the William Kingdom into the vast and prosperous dominion of the Isham Empire. The annexation, while marking the end of an era of the William Kingdom as an independent entity, also heralded the beginning of a new chapter filled with the opportunity for growth and unity, shared prosperity under the imperial umbrella. It signified an alignment with the great and power, one of the promising security, stability, and access to resources and advancements previously beyond reach. As we draw the curtain on this season of our podcast, let us contemplate the lessons learned and challenges overcome and the victories achieved. The annexation of the William Kingdom into the Isham Empire serves as a testimony to the resilience, adaptability, and vision of the people. They navigate the curtain of challenges and shape their destiny. Amid the shifting tide of history, join us as we bid farewell to this season filled with anticipation and adventure that lies ahead, the next chapter of our journey. Thank you for being part of the remarkable odyssey, and may the future be filled with promise and hope and bounteous prosperity. So basically, my friend quit the game and I annexed his territory.
Hey, that works.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
It's still a victory if they give up.
Yes.
Last man standing.
Yep.
To the winner goes the spoils.
Yep. So what I'm excited about is what's going to happen next season. Okay.
Excellent.
I'm going to be going in. Oh, go on.
I was going to say I had a couple of narrative questions in this regard. This section very much reads like an imperial victory propaganda. So it kind of makes me wonder: is there going to be a chance at them trying to take their kingdom back in the future, or develop, or I'm curious to see how it develops under the empire, and kind of see how that all goes.
That would be pretty great. I didn't even think about that. I think I will take a look at that in the next when I rate the scripts for the next season.
Hey, feel free to take that idea. That's just a suggestion or just something I figured. Oh, this might be interesting thing to ask them. So, yeah, feel free to take that idea and run with it.
Okay. Well, toward the end of the season, I started reading parts of the rule book, and next season I'm going to read parts of the rule book. I'm doing the history of the last Republican, which is the guy who's trying to restore the United States. The Great Ghost War.
That sounds cool.
And we're going back to the present. The present's going to be seen through the eyes of a bounty hunter known as Jaina the Hunter.
Ooh.
She's a tiefling bounty hunter who is technically a rich aristocratic person. She comes from an incredibly rich family and clan. And she decides instead of instead of going into the clergy, she's going to become a bounty hunter and kind of just separate herself from the rest of her family's riches.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm hoping next year if I can get two more people to put in for my Patreon, because I give them all the stuff to play the game, to do the first world championship of this game that this is based on.
Ooh, that sounds
Very
very
cool.
fun.
Yep.
Very fun.
So thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of you guys.
Thank you. That really, truly means a lot to us.
Yeah, we try our best to, be good at what we do, but there are definitely some episodes where I definitely feel inadequate.
Well, you definitely show that there's a lot more stuff than just Warhammer out there, and even in the Warhammer stuff, it looks like the original Warhammer Fantasy, is a ton better than Warhammer 40K in lore.
Oh, I definitely feel like that in some instances. There's definitely points where I'm like, where I can look at 40K and I'm like, this is cool, but like fantasy did this better.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I especially like the multiple emperors that are better than the God Emperor.
Sigmar was right.
Hammer. But it's like Ray said. I like how a lot of the lore in Warhammer Fantasy seems a lot more concise and fleshed out. And I think that's just also from the fact that it came first, and then 40K kind of came along later, and it's just being retconned ever since. I'm not saying I'm against 40K or anything, because 40K is how I got started into this hobby in general.
Me too.
But I do like the direction of the lore that fantasy had kind of gone into, except for the end times. But we're not going to talk about that right now.
No, we're not.
Those were bad.
Now, I'd like to invite you guys for something I invited Mark to, and he was going to take it up, but the stuff happened with his podcast. So if you guys ever want to create your own faction for my world, on a podcast episode, I would love to have you guys come on again and do it again.
Hey,
that sounds like a fantastic idea.
I am a guy who's into world building and race creation, so I'd be super down to be on sometime to do that.
Absolutely.
Whenever it's good with your schedule, just you guys know how to make it with me, and we could do it again. I would love to do it with you guys. I think it would be absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely happy to come back on here. Whenever the stars align and our schedules line up.
Oh, I know that feeling. I know that feeling very well. Go on.
Oh, I mean, I got nothing else to say except the fact that I'd be super interested in coming in and doing that, but obviously time-wise, got to make it work.
Yep, me too. Yeah. Me too.
But we always make time. We always make time for the things we care about. So we'll definitely get to working on this.
And I really appreciate you guys coming on. This was absolutely awesome. I'm sorry it was more than a half an hour that I thought it was going to be, but
hey, that's okay. We had some discussions. We had some good material to cover. So I think this something special like this deserves whatever breadth of time it needs.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes, we're happy to be here. We're happy to be able to help, and obviously me and Gerald both of us are writers to an extent and world builders as well. So we can see game recognizes game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I got no more closing statements.
Any shout outs or anything that you want to tell the audience before we go?
I think the new people were right.
Yep.
All right.
The new people are right.
All right.
Introducing the Morgan Clan Mega Store, your premier online shopping destination on the planet Bob. Owned and operated by Tieflings, the Morgan Clan Mega Store brings the convenience of online shopping right to your fingertips. Explore the vast selection of products from everyday essentials to luxury items, all available in just a few clicks. Welcome to the Morgan Clan Mega Store. How can we assist you? Need it fast? No problem. Our express delivery service ensures your purchase arrives promptly anywhere on the planet. Shop as securely and confidently with our encrypted payment system and enjoy peace of mind knowing that your personal information is safe with us. Join the growing community of satisfied customers who trust the Morgan Clan Megastore for all your shopping needs. Shop now and experience the convenience of a Tiefling-owned excellence. Morgan Clan Megastore, where shopping is a breeze in the interstellar age. And that concludes another thrilling episode of To Rule a World 3D. We hope you enjoyed the immersive version and enjoy yourself in the rich tapestry of the Bob's ever-evolving story. Remember, the adventure doesn't end here. Your support and engagement fuels our journey, shaping the destiny of nations and characters alike. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our patrons like Peter Gordon, whose contributions help us continue crafting tales that captivate and inspire. Until next time, keep dreaming and keep your creating and keep ruling a world in 3D. Farewell, and our fellow adventurers.